Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
A 68-year-old driver was struck and killed by a fallen tree in Coeur d'Alene this morning in what fire officials called a freak occurrence. Thanks for joining us here tonight on this special edition of 4 News Now. I'm Jordan Smith. That awful incident happened on West Celtis Way. You can see on your screen there, not far from the Frontier Ice Arena. On your screen now are pictures from the scene this morning. You can see that tree completely crushed the front end of the car. That accident happened in an area where several dead trees are rooted into the ground. It's something people in the community say tonight needs to be addressed so that this same tragedy doesn't happen twice. Peter Choi has the story.
Now take a look at this behind me. This is the part of the fallen tree that hit directly the driver on Saturday morning. I spoke with one resident who lives near the scene, and he tells me this is a huge safety concern for this community.
In Coeur d'Alene, a freak tragedy. A fallen tree struck a moving car, killing a 68-year-old driver. You can see the devastation from that collision in this photo shared by a nearby neighbor. The debris from that tree scattered along the side of the road.
What looked like a possibly dead tree that had collapsed over directly the driver and passenger side of a green-colored SUV.
Carlson expressed his concern regarding the poor maintenance of dead trees in the area.
I'm not entirely sure what happened exactly, but I think there's going to be maybe possibly some accountability for this. It seems like this could have been prevented.
It's pretty tragic.
Sam Lyman rides his bicycle along the Celtis Way every day. He shares similar concern about dead trees.
I'm concerned that the forests all around here have a great degree of pine bark beetle damage, which has resulted in many tree falls every time we have a windstorm.
Lyman says he wants to see a change.
I think that it's time that we assess the state of the forests in the community and to try to act proactively to take out the trees before they come down on a motorist and take out another person or a child.
The Idaho State Police is investigating the incident. In Coeur d'Alene, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
A rainy day across the inland northwest, but as we've come to the end of this Saturday, conditions have improved greatly, and we're starting, at least temporarily, to dry out around here. We'll start off with a view of the radar here this evening around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Once was basically filled with green here this morning, is now looking a whole lot calmer. You could see a little bit of rain still right over the Mount Spokane area, and we did just have some rain just north of Green Bluff around the Black Road area, but that is starting to move off into the mountains. Things will calm down there pretty considerably over the next hour or two. Then as we head further south, if you had friends that maybe went to the Cougs game today, they were soaking for much of the afternoon and early evening, but things have calmed down considerably there. The rain about to stop for the most part in Pullman. Still plenty of wet weather though in places like Lewiston, and as you work your way towards Lapwai and further into north central Idaho. As we continue to go through the night, our rain chances will drop down, and as we head into tomorrow morning, we'll begin the day with dry conditions. However, as we head into the evening tomorrow, we'll start to see that rain crank up once again. I'll help you plan around the wet weather and when you'll have some ideas, or some good time rather, to get outside coming up.
All right, Matt, thanks so much for that. A memorial service was held for fallen Post Falls police officer Nicholas McDaniel today. McDaniel died October 22nd after suffering a massive heart attack while on duty. That service began today with a slideshow of photos of Officer McDaniel alongside his friends and family. Family and officers were present today for that service that was not open to the public. Officer McDaniel spent 13 years as a police officer in Hawaii before moving to Post Falls, where he had worked for a little under a year. He was 36 years old when he died, survived by his fiancée and children. A mobile home park in Spokane Valley has warned residents of a PFAS contamination in its water well. PFAS, or forever chemicals, are known for their hazardous effects in humans and animals. Residents were given a notice about the contamination just a few days ago, but the letter says the water was tested back in June. That means the water had PFAS in it for months, and the residents had no idea This is water coming out from a faucet outside one of those mobile homes. You can see the brown taint color in there. And that's the same water that this woman has had to bathe in, brush her teeth in. And with property management handed out that letter and advised residents to buy bottled water or a carbon filter, but many can't afford that. One resident says property management is of little to no help at all.
I feel that they need to take action. And so far, we haven't seen anything. I haven't even received a call. I leave long, detailed messages, please call me in regard to this, and they don't. And when I finally got a human being, he was absolutely rude.
It's one of several locations we're seeing PFAS pop up all over the city. Property management says it's working with the city and Northwest Water to find a solution. But as of right now, there is no timeline for when it will be fixed.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because we know there's such a great need. And we know that people, are suffering as a result of that.
The need for low-income housing continues to outpace supply. In Spokane, there's a 3-year wait list to get into low-income housing. That waiting period is the same as it was a year ago, which begs the question, what's changed in 2023? 4 News Now went to Community Framework, which develops low-income housing, to find those answers. Community Framework tells us that on any given day, they have upwards of 200 people waiting for a housing unit to become available at one of their 8 properties. Part of what's driving this issue is the lack of housing inventory. There are several construction projects underway to add more diverse housing to Spokane, which could drop the price of rent. But until those are completed, families with below average incomes will continue to feel this pressure.
We know families are doubling and tripling up. So we have, multi-generational families that are living in one house because they can't afford to rent a house on their own, or let alone buy a house.
And there are about 7,000 low-income housing units in Spokane. That number has to double in order to meet the current demand. Well, dozens of kids in our community were shopping for their favorite winter gear at the Northtown Mall this morning. Partnering with Spokane Public Schools, the Salvation Army hosted Clothe a Child shopping spree for 100 elementary students.
We all know winter's coming and temperatures are going to drop down really quickly, and so the point of doing this now, back before school started, we hosted a back-to-school Clothe a Child. This one is specifically for kids who need winter clothes.
And thanks to generous community donations, each one got $150 worth of new winter coats and boots at JCPenney today. Well, still much more ahead here tonight on this special edition of 4 News Now. The Cougs are in action in a must-win game at home, while UW had the nation's attention in a shootout in Southern California. Alex Tresenti has the highlights coming up after the break. Plus, the case against a former Pennsylvania nursing home worker is expanding. The nurse, already charged in 2 homicides, now being linked to more than a dozen other deaths. That story coming up.
And it's going to be a mild night in the inland northwest, but temperatures only down into the low 40s. There will be a few spots to see an occasional shower, and a lot of us will wake up to fog after another wet day. We've got one more super soggy day in your forecast before things will start to dry out for good, or at least for a longer term. I'll show you when that happens coming up.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. The big beefy boy that started it all. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
A heated mayoral race, controversial issues on the ballot. This Tuesday, get For the People election coverage from 4 News Now. Results, reaction, and analysis. Watch all day on 4 News Now and streaming free on KXLY+.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to financial compensation. If you or a loved one used Roundup weed killer and were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call the number on your screen now.
Call 1-800-339-3149.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Arby's, 2 for $7. Every day, a classic, a favorite, an Arby's legend. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
We hope you enjoyed that thriller just a few minutes ago right here on KXLY. The Huskies survived a massive test down in Los Angeles. They beat USC to stay in the thick of the playoff race. But boy, there was a lot that happened during that 60 minutes of football. Hard to recap it all, but we're going to try our best. Let's get to it. In the end of the second quarter, it's already a high-scoring affair as the Trojans lead 28-21, but Michael Penix finds Jalen Polk sitting there in the end zone to tie this game up at 28-all. But we're not done yet with this half. USC maybe gets a little greedy here. Caleb Williams immediately feels the pressure, fumbles the ball away. Washington falls on top of it with great field position, and they're going to capitalize on this opportunity. You better believe it. USC defense couldn't do anything. Dylan Johnson punches it in from a yard out, and the Huskies flip the script. They go into the break up 35-28, but could they hold on to that? Well, in the third, we're all tied up at 35. UW knocking on the door, and Penix sneaks it in himself, just part of 3-touchdown day for him. Then late in the fourth, it's going to be UW up by 3, looking to close this thing out. Dylan Johnson does just that from a yard out, extends the lead to 10, puts this game out of reach, and UW survives what can only be described as, can we call it the game of the year? I think we're going to call it the game of the year.
Man, it was crazy, man. We knew all week. You know, we knew the work that we needed to put in, and we did it all week, man. The offensive line did a heck of a job all week long, and making sure they're working on finishing and making sure that we're working on getting this DJ out and making these big-time plays. And, man, for us to come out and execute and do it today, man, it was a great thing.
Now, the Huskies put up more than 570 yards on the night, more than 300 of those coming on the ground. Next up for them is going to be a tricky test. They'll return home to face a top-ranked Utah squad. Now, let's head over to Cheney, where Eastern Washington was hosting Cal Poly, and a homecoming for the former head coach, Paul Wolf. Look at that, returning to Inland Northwest. Opening kickoff for the game, Michael Wortham takes the return for the Eagles, gets a few nice blocks, and breaks free. Looks like he might take this to the house, but eventually will be taken down at the 15-yard line. Aaron Best told Wortham after that, you can't get taken down by a guy wearing 69 when you're wearing 13. Come on, man. But no problem, because next play, Tuna Alteri gets the handoff, takes it to the outside. He's in for the game's first score less than 30 seconds into this one. After a Mustangs turnover, Eagles go right back to work. This time is Justin Jackson getting the nod, goes untouched into the end zone. Eastern putting up more than 200 yards on the ground today. But the defense also getting it done on the afternoon. In the second, Eagles rolling. Quarterback Sam Heward hit as he throws. The ball falls into Cage Schneck's hands, perfectly timing that one for a pick 6. Eastern goes on to win this one big, 48-13.
We get to learn how to play with momentum and play with the lead, which is something we've struggled with. So I think that was a good game where we had the lead the whole game, and we kept it, and we just kept building on it and building on it. So it was important for us.
We all talked about just energy. Like, we felt like we've been kind of dead in the past couple weeks. So being able to come out and start that fast was pretty awesome. I mean, you just see it on the sideline, energy, and it just helped bring special teams and defense along, just get the team flowing together.
Now, Eagles are going to hit the road one more final time this season. A quick trip over to Bozeman to take on 6th-ranked Montana State. Now, let's head out to Greeley, Colorado, where the Vandals were taking on Northern Colorado, looking for a win against 0-8 Bears in the third quarter. Vandals only up by 3, but That changes in an instant. Giovanni McCoy hits Hayden Hatton in the end zone. Idaho with a little bit of breathing room now. Hayden with 6 catches for 104 yards. Game would be close late with only up by under 3 to play. The Bears are only down by 7, looking to do something, but Marcus Harris has other ideas. He takes this interception all the way to the house. This looks like a slow motion, but we promise it's real. And he takes that one, and Idaho wins this one. They survive a test, 27-13. They earned their 7th win on the season.
You know, Anthony and Hayden both came up with 100-yard games, which is what you'd like to see, you know, out of those guys. And, you know, good to see, but we got to keep running the ball better. I'd like to get us, this is 3 games in a row we haven't rushed for 200 yards, and that's what I'd like to get back to.
Now, Idaho's going to take on Weber State next week with only 2 weeks left in the regular season. As for Washington State, they're currently in action down in Pullman, taking on Stanford. We're going to have more coming up on that a bit later on.
And now it is time for your First Alert forecast. It was a soggy day around the inland Northwest. In fact, pretty sure this is the second soggiest day we have had, or second rainiest day we've had all year long. First was just a couple of days ago. We end up with a mild and foggy morning as a result of all that moisture. We will be dry most of Sunday, so if you were getting the rainy day blues here and thought that maybe the weekend was a total washout, there's some good news there, but we will see some showers roll back in on Sunday night, and it looks like Monday not going to be quite as wet, or at least the potential is not quite as much as it was today and a couple of days ago. It looks like another soaker is on the way to start off the week. We still got that rain around the Moscow area, south into Lewiston and around Orofino. Still some scattered showers even as far north as Kellogg tonight, but this is all moving out, and our next system is already on the way. You can see those big thick clouds right off over the Pacific coast, so it'll take a little bit, but they'll be here, folks, before you know it. And a slight chance of a shower for tomorrow, but as I said before, most of tomorrow is going to be dry. It'll help us kind of maybe try and salvage some outdoor activities for the weekend a little bit. And then as we go into Monday, yeah, 90% chance of rain. We don't do that too terribly often, and that rain will linger on into Tuesday before some more significant drying. Let's take you through the simulated radar, the forecast radar. I'd be shocked if there was not some pretty decent clouds and fog as you get in the morning. So if you are up early on Sunday, just remember, may run into a little bit of limited visibility, especially in North Idaho and along the Palouse. As we go through the afternoon, nice and beautiful. Be nice even if we could get a little bit of sunshine out, but this time of year sometimes that can be hard to do. Then here's 5 o'clock. You start to see some showers begin to push in towards Moses Lake and Ritzville. So our Central Washington, our Columbia Basin communities, by the early afternoon, or not early afternoon, but early evening, you'll have a chance for some rain. And then by 11 o'clock, here comes the rain once again around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Let's head through the night, which will be a little bit quieter than our recent nights of rain. But here comes the big shield of rain moving in at 7 a.m. That'll help douse us once again for the bulk of your Monday. So, hey, pretty nice looking Sunday. And look at these temperatures, upper 40s by midday, low 50s, and a little bit of sun peeking through the clouds in the afternoon. That's pretty nice. And in fact, our average high this time of year is about 47. So temperatures like this, hey, above average weather. Let's enjoy it after some chilly conditions. What you may not enjoy, however, is, remember, we get an extra hour of sleep tonight. Sunrise is at 6:39. Sunset with standard time is at 4:26. So I'm not looking forward to that. It's going to be quite interesting. Here's Monday. Once again, looks like another raincoat mandatory day. Middle of the week actually looks pretty nice. And then our lows get close to freezing here by the end of the week. And it looks like we'll get off to a bit of a drier start early next weekend. 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes.
MeTV presents the MASH series finale.
It was pretty big. It was about half the country watching at one time.
With exclusive interviews with the cast and creative team.
The MASH finale, Friday night at 7, only on MeTV 4.2.
We are Grocery Outlet, and we are your Bargain Bliss Market. What's Bargain Bliss? You know that feeling you get when you find the name brands you love, but for way, way less? That's Bargain Bliss. It's Grocery Outlet's 20% off wine sale going on now through November 7th. We have hundreds of wines sure to pair with any gathering. So act now because this deal won't last long. Stop in and save today.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $100 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $100 off. Call now.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-435-6817. 1-800-435-6817.
If you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For everyone here. We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies us. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
4 News Now is brought to you by Kerner Furniture.
Well, the constant lane closures on the Maple Street Bridge are finally over. That bridge is now fully reopened, with crews finishing replacing the top layer of concrete late Thursday night. Some good, long-awaited news for drivers here in Spokane. In just 2 weeks, those Spokane drivers can also drive on a newly completed part of the North-South Freeway. Another section of the North-South Freeway will be opening later this month. Starting on the 16th, you can now drive from 395 all the way down to Wellesley.
We have 3 significant projects that we have left to design to get the project completed, and we are scheduled to have those designs complete and those projects out for advertisement in 2024. So there's a huge slate of work still coming in order to complete this facility and get us connected to Interstate 90.
The full project is expected to be completed by 2030. Well, the case against a former Pennsylvania nursing home worker is expanding. That nurse, already charged in 2 homicides, is now being linked to more than a dozen other deaths. ABC's Rena Roy is here now with the details.
This morning, authorities deepening their investigation into a former nurse already facing charges of murder of 2 patients and now accused in the deaths of more than a dozen others.
She intentionally and maliciously injected them with insulin to kill them.
Investigators say Heather Presti has confessed to attempting to kill 19 people at 5 different Pennsylvania care facilities as recently as this year, 17 of them dying, including 68-year-old Marianne Bauer.
The family, quite frankly, is sickened by the recent events.
For 2 years, Bauer's family believes she died from respiratory failure while battling MS. But then a shocking turn of events this past September. Their attorney says investigators informed them Presti admitted to killing her with insulin. Bauer was not diabetic. The family now suing the facility where she received care.
They have to relive the nightmare of re-mourning, re-grieving, and trying to deal with the circumstance knowing they placed their mom in a facility where someone killed her.
Officials say Presti's victims were 43 to 104 years old. The criminal complaint alleging she would administer lethal doses of insulin during the night shift when staffing was lowest. And if she sensed a victim would pull through, she'd take additional measures to try to kill the victims, including administering a second dose of insulin.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
As police officers, public safety isn't just a talking point.
It's what we do.
And Betsy Wilkerson has not made it easier to keep Spokane safe.
This isn't political spin. These are the facts. Betsy stalled on banning drugs in the midst of record overdoses.
And voted to defund drug investigations.
She voted twice against banning homeless camps near schools.
I want a city council that has my back when I'm protecting theirs.
The choice is clear. Vote Kim Please for city council president.
As we naturally age, many people are getting zero amount of this incredible and unique substance. That's when we start seeing an impact in our joints, skin, nails, and even our digestion.
People ask me, Dr. X, what is the #1 supplement I should be taking? My answer is multi-collagen protein.
People's reactions to me, people were like, what are you doing? What is going on? You look amazing. You have a glow about you.
What makes Ancient Nutrition Multi-Collagen stand out from other brands? 10 types of collagen. It's grass-fed, pasture-raised with vitamin C and probiotics. It's proven to reduce exercise-induced joint discomfort as early as day 1 and reduce joint discomfort rapidly, continuously, and persistently. It improves the appearance of crow's feet after 4 weeks and improves skin tone after 8 weeks. And it promotes hair thickness, growth, and a reduction in hair breakage.
It has transformed everything from my hair. Like, my hair was starting to kind of just, come out, and I don't have that anymore. My skin feels amazing.
Call the number on your screen and find out how to get a free bottle when you order, plus free shipping and our 30-day money-back guarantee. And as a bonus, we will include Dr. Josh Axe and Jordan Rubin's revolutionary book, Multi-Collagen Makeover, free with your order, plus free shipping and free returns.
I have implicit trust in Dr. Axe because the plan worked. I'm living proof of it.
This is the collagen protein that is backed by clinical studies. It's what my family uses, it's what I use, and I know you're going to benefit in a big way as well.
Love the results or get your money back. This special TV offer is not available in stores. Call the number on your screen or go online now.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Welcome back. A man is now behind bars tonight after police say he commandeered a piece of heavy equipment in East Spokane.
Can you just stop the vehicle and talk to me some more?
Never too late to do the right thing, officer. You realize you're on camera, right?
You're under arrest.
Right, you're on camera.
You're under arrest.
You got it. Give me your hands. Yes, sir.
Police say the man inside the rubber-tracked crawler was Matthew Cook. They say employees at a machinery business called after he refused to leave. They say he then climbed into that vehicle you just saw and drove over a fence. One officer jumped onto the crawler and yanked him down. He now faces charges including burglary and vehicle theft. In New Jersey, several high school students are accused of sharing nude photos of their classmates generated using artificial intelligence, leaving many parents concerned.
My daughter texted me, "Mom, naked pictures of me are being distributed." That's it. Heading to the principal's office.
And these kinds of altered photos are known as deep fakes. The incident happened over the summer, but was just recently brought to the attention of school administrators.
She started crying, and then she was walking in the hallways, and she's seen other girls of Westfield High School crying. Some of them victims, some of them just friends of the victims that just felt for them.
To prevent more young girls from becoming victims, Congress is considering a bill that would make it illegal to share non-consensual deepfake images online. 3 passengers are suing Alaska Airlines, saying that they suffered emotional distress when an off-duty pilot allegedly tried to cut power to the engine mid-flight. That lawsuit claims that the airline and its operator, Horizon Airlines, didn't properly evaluate Joseph Emerson before he was seated in the jump seat of the cockpit. It also claims that when engines were tampered with, the plane dramatically pitched forward as if it were in a nosedive. And if the airline had been more vigilant, Emerson wouldn't have been put in a position to, quote, nearly kill everyone on board. Alaska Airlines previously said the crew saw nothing that would have prevented them from letting Emerson fly. The Supreme Court has agreed to consider a federal ban on bump stocks. Bump stocks are devices that allow semi-automatic rifles to be fired more rapidly. Federal appeals courts have been split on whether a federal ban on bump stocks is legal, prompting President Biden to petition the Supreme Court to consider the ruling. at issue is whether bump stocks should be classified as machine guns under the National Firearms Act. The ATF qualified them as machine guns back in 2018 and then banned bump stocks a year later. Challengers appealed that classification, saying the ATF lacked the authority to issue the ban, and bump stocks shouldn't be classified as machine guns anyway. Now to the new information in the new details in the final hours of the alleged mass shooting in Maine, as President Biden pays his respects to the 18 victims and their families. ABC's Morgan Norwood is here now.
It's a trip far too familiar here in America.
This tragedy opens a painful wounds all across the country.
The president once again taking on the role of comforter-in-chief, this time visiting Lewiston, Maine. The president and first lady laying flowers at a memorial outside Schmingy's bar, one of two locations where gunmen carried out the worst mass shooting since Uvalde on October 25th. Biden then visiting the bowling alley, the other shooting scene, paying respect to the victims and renewing his call for stronger gun control measures, though he didn't explicitly re-up his calls for an assault weapons ban.
This is about protecting our freedom to go to a bowling alley, a restaurant, a school, a church, without being shot and killed.
Biden's visit comes as the community says their final goodbyes to the victims. Hundreds gathering to remember Ronald Morin, who was playing cornhole at Schmingy's Bar and Grill when he was gunned down. And amid the heartbreak, questions now about missed warning signs and whether suspect Robert Card's guns should have been taken under Maine's yellow flag law after he was admitted into a mental health facility over the summer. According to documents obtained by ABC News, text messages from the shooter's fellow reservists to Army leadership raised the alarm. One reading, "I believe he's going to snap and do a mass shooting."
Coming up here in the next half hour, we are 3 days away from Election Day. Tonight, we break down an ordinance that would ban camping near schools and playgrounds. Plus, the feel-good story from Maine tonight, a 103-year-old veteran with a grand birthday surprise.
And the rain has mostly stopped this evening, but not for long. Things are looking pretty soggy again to start your work week. I'll take you through how to make the most of what will be a drier Sunday coming up in your forecast.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
I met Anidas 10 years ago. He didn't have bad credit, but he just had no credit to begin with. I took the time to really go over some options with him. Fast forward 10 years down the road, he's got his business account with Numerica. He's looking to buy his second home also with Numerica.
When I speak to families across Spokane, it's clear we want the same things. Our family to be safe, affordable housing, economic opportunities, and good jobs for our children and grandchildren. We want our streets fixed, our river protected, and a compassionate, effective response to homelessness. Families from Indian Trail to Lincoln Heights are ready for us to pull together and build a better Spokane. It feels pretty divided in Spokane right now, but bridges bring us together, and when I'm mayor, we'll build some new ones. I'm Lisa Brown. I approve this message.
At St. Joseph's Indian School, we know that a Native American child's future depends on a strong foundation.
At St. Joseph's Indian School, they care for the kids.
Our students come from many places, seeking a good education, a safe place to learn, and Native American values that enrich their lives.
It's on us to teach our younger generations, our children.
At St. Joseph's Indian School, children get their best chance to succeed in life.
I like being here because I live and learn at St. Joseph's. When I'm here, I feel like I'm home.
Our children are our greatest endeavor. By investing in their education, we honor their past and secure their future. To learn more, go to stjo.org today.
Wake up, people! Rotten sleep means rotten moods, rotten backs, rotten health. Rotten breath goes without saying, but you're in luck. During the Veterans Day sale at Denver Mattress. Save $100 on all Aspen mattresses or take $50 off any Easy Choice. Purchase any Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 gift. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
Welcome back to a special edition of 4 News Now. Matt Gray joining me here at the desk. A soggy Saturday here in the Inland Northwest, Matt.
Soggy to be an understatement, yes. I think.
Perfect to watch football inside.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely very much an inside day.
Yeah.
And get this, so the other day when we also had a lot of rain, that was the wettest day this year so far. Guess where this one was? Number 2.
Seriously?
Hit that full screen. Here we go. Yeah, November 2nd, and now today, November 4th, we were just 1/100th of an inch short of tying now that record for wettest day of 2023. We'll see how long it lasts, but I think it's going to last at least about a week or so with how things are projected to go in the days to come. Our only other day was even relatively close was back in August 22nd, so it's been a pretty dry year so far. It's nice for us to finally start getting a little bit of that rain. Things are dry around Spokane now, as over the past few hours we've seen the really steady rain pull away, but there are some areas such as right around Coeur d'Alene, we're starting to see a little bit of wet weather. And as you head into the Spirit Lake and Athol area, we've seen some scattered showers from time to time. I'll actually go back one just to show you. We do have a couple of sprinkles moving into downtown Coeur d'Alene right now, and perhaps even a little bit more rain over the next 15-20 minutes or so that'll slam through there. We've also seen some very wet weather today in Pullman and Moscow, but things are going to dry out there very shortly if they had not already. Lewiston, you're about to see the rain, and for you as well, at least for the time being, we will see off and on rain there throughout the night. Now, that's your broad view of things. We start to see those rain chances really fall past 11 o'clock, and we'll start dry for the day, but we may not end our day being super dry. I'll show you when the next rainmaker comes on in coming up.
All right, Matt, thanks for that. And we are just 3 days away from Election Day. Voters will have a say on Proposition 1, which will ask whether they'd like to ban camping near schools, parks, or playgrounds here in Spokane. We asked police about enforcing this if it passes. They say that they can't respond to calls like this as often as they'd like to. Bronte Sorotsky tells us why.
Despite challenges to keep it on the ballot, Spokane voters will have a chance to vote on Proposition 1 this upcoming election day. But Spokane police say you might not notice immediate changes if it passes.
There may be times where officers are really busy and it's going to be sitting in the queue for a longer period of time.
If Proposition 1 passes, officers will be able to enforce it. But those calls about camps will be added to the same queue as all other crime in Spokane, which is already up from last year.
So we're getting more calls, we're responding to more calls.
Calls for help are already up by 11% compared to last year, and last year they were up by 12%. Officers are busy.
There's going to be some choices to be made. Either right now, for example, we know we have over 200 homeless camping complaints in the queue, and it fluctuates, right? It's 200 to 300. It can sometimes be much higher than that.
When calls about homeless encampments come in right now, officers have to prioritize. They look at factors like how long ago a complaint was filed, how large the encampment is, and how much damage it's caused.
So there's only so many hours in a day they can work, so it may be some of those complaints are going to have to be waiting in the queue a little bit longer because we just don't have the staffing to respond to them as quickly as we would like.
Amid all of this, the police department is over budget and short-staffed, in need of at least a dozen new officers just to be fully staffed.
It comes down to the amount of money this city has available to hire staff versus the demands from the community that would require more staff.
Police say until they can hire more people, you'll have to wait longer for law enforcement to respond to these calls. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Just one of the controversial ordinances on the ballot in Spokane County this year. The other is Measure 1, a proposed sales tax increase that would help fund a new jail along with other criminal justice projects. If approved, the sales tax would increase by 0.2%. That's 2 cents for every $10 spent. To learn why supporters say that this money is necessary and why critics call this a blank check for a broken system, take a look at Derek Dice's ballot breakdown on KXLY.com/forthepeople. Some local organizations want all former Washington prisoners to cast their ballots next week. Because of a new law that took effect last year, the voting rights of convicted felons have been automatically restored. Former prisoner Curtis Robinson says voting rights are a part of the healing process for those who want to reconnect.
When you look at the successful reentry back into society of our justice involved populations, that is one of the critical key foundational components that needs to be there, is that social connection, that social engagement.
Robinson says voter education needs to continue from members of the community with criminal records. Well, a feel-good story here tonight. A World War II dive bomber from Maine is about to turn 103. He's already receiving hundreds of birthday cards from across the country. Brittany McCadden reports.
Here we go. Punch, punch. Very good.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Am I that old?
You might not guess it by his veracity in the gym, but Ed Hendrickson is indeed days away from his 103rd birthday.
I think it's just great that I've been able to live this long, and I do pretty well.
10 pounds, Ed. Right in those big guns. There's 4. We should do 103 of them.
Oh my God.
Last one. Excellent. Got you.
That's hard work.
He says movement is the key to his positive outlook.
I feel pretty good. I get a little bit down once in a while, but I get myself out of it. I go for a walk, or I have done a few exercises at home alone, enough to get me moving.
Physical activity isn't the only thing keeping his spirits high these days. Ahead of Ed's birthday on November 14th, another local veteran put out a Facebook post asking for cards. Hundreds of people across the country have already delivered on that request.
Gee, I never knew I had so many friends. It's kind of exciting, truthfully. And they're all real nice. They're all good. They're all either complimentary or wishing me well or things like that. They're all personal type of notes, and I like that.
Out of the hundreds of cards, there are a few that stand out, like one from Senator Susan Collins and another from a New Hampshire student named Effie.
My wife's name was Effie, and they weren't twins either. If Effie had been living now, she'd got a real kick out of that. One of the best things I got was, where's that little ornament there? I got this decoration, this little ornament. I really loved that. And of course the Navy, as it happens, I was in the Navy.
Ahead of Veterans Day and as the cards keep coming in, Ed has a message for everyone who's dropped him a note.
I just tell them how appreciative I was that they think of me in this huge world war, and they just say so many nice things about me and about all veterans.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try a new bagel sandwich. With fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion or bacon or sausage, well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Bipolar 1, I got help to push back.
I got help to push back.
We got help to push back with Lybalvi.
Once daily prescription Lybalvi is proven to treat manic or mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults to help you push back. Elderly patients with dementia have an increased risk of death or stroke. Do not take Lybalvi if you are taking opioids or are in opioid withdrawal. The samidorphan in Lybalvi can cause severe opioid withdrawal that can lead to hospitalization or increased risk of life-threatening overdose. Get emergency help if you have trouble breathing, become very drowsy with slowed or shallow breathing, or feel faint, very dizzy, or confused. Or if you have fever, stiff muscles, confusion, rash, swollen glands, or problems with your liver, kidneys, heart, or lungs. Other serious side effects may include high cholesterol, weight gain, potentially fatal high blood sugar, uncontrolled body movements, which may be permanent, dizziness upon standing or falls.
Are you ready to push back against bipolar 1? Ask your doctor if Lybalvi is right for you.
Spokane, you have a choice. We can support leaders who want to stand up and protect our community, or we can surrender to crime and homelessness like Bessie Wilkerson, who voted to defund drug investigations. That means she doesn't care about her kids dying of fentanyl overdoses. She also voted against barring homeless camps, near schools, parks, and playgrounds. Spokane, let's choose to protect our kids and fight crime. That's why law enforcement and the Spokane Police Guild support Kim Please for council president.
If you're looking for a new Tundra or Tacoma truck, Findlay Downtown Toyota has over 70 in stock and ready to go. And if you're looking for a new RAV4, Highlander, or a Toyota 4Runner, we have over 100 in stock with great financing options. And if you're looking for a quality used vehicle, we've got a whole city block full of fantastic choices that come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. So if you're looking for a great selection at a great price, you can find it at Findlay.
I think they like each other.
I'm Charles. Lunch?
Vanessa. I like lunch.
Give in to deliciousness. Buy one craveable classic and get another one for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
And we're going to continue to focus here on the rain as we remain wow, that was awkward. In a rainy pattern. Here is all of our rains so far here in 2023 compared to average. October was dismal. We're already just 4 days into the month. Once again, 1.17 now, combining those 2 very wet days. We're almost halfway there. So, boy, it really would be positive if we could get average or, hey, who knows, maybe above average rain to end here this year, because it's been so dry, and we've certainly seen the consequences of that. We could see more heading into 2024. But we will dry out, at least in the short term, for Sunday. So maybe your outside plans for this weekend are not all lost. It certainly looked that way. It certainly felt that way this morning. Monday, however, looks like any outdoor plans will be lost. It's going to be another rainy day. It may not be raining all the time like we saw on today or say like Thursday, but it's going to still be pretty darn wet out there. And then later in the week, those freezing temperatures will return. So we are going to see a little brief cool down. Here are our rain chances for tomorrow. All is quiet through the lunchtime hour, but then as we get into the early evening, we start to see that things begin to change. And by the time we head towards 10, 11 o'clock, we are right back to, well, where we were, for example, this morning. So let's show you this. We'll continue to see some scattered showers tonight across north central Idaho. But this is about 4 in the morning. As you can see, things pretty quiet out there. I would be shocked if there was not some fog as you wake up in the morning after all of this wet weather. Then as we head to 5 p.m. on Sunday, you can see that rain in the Cascades down by the Tri-Cities, trying to move into Moses Lake and Ritzville. And here it comes. By the time we get to that 10, 11 o'clock time, it's the first wave of what will likely be multiple waves of rain as we go through Sunday night and then into Monday, specifically on Monday morning as we fast forward further to 7 in the morning on Monday. And this is where the bulk of the moisture is going to come from, this big shield of rain that is going to start in the south and then push to the north across eastern Washington and North Idaho. Not nearly as much potential for rainfall as there was with the last couple of big rounds of rain over the past few days. But still, hey, a ½ inch or potential for up to a ½ inch in Coeur d'Alene and in the Silver Valley is certainly nothing to sneeze at, and will definitely help us out with those rainfall totals. As for Sunday, yeah, man, relax, enjoy. I think a little bit of sunshine will try to peek out in the afternoon. Once again, don't count on that too much. After all, it is late fall in the inland northwest. Sunshine can be hard to find, but those temperatures will be in the 50s. That's going to be awesome and above average. This is going to be a little less awesome, depending on your perspective. Sunrise, 6:39, sunset, 4:26 p.m. as we go into standard time. Don't forget to set back those manual clocks. 1 hour tonight and when you get up in the morning. High of 50 and wet weather for Monday. Things looking pretty decent as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, but do be aware those temperatures get back down towards freezing for a couple of mornings late in the week. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
As police officers, public safety isn't just a talking point.
It's what we do. And Betsy Wilkerson has not made it easier to keep Spokane safe.
This isn't political spin. These are the facts. Betsy stalled on banning drugs in the midst of record overdoses.
And voted to defund drug investigations.
She voted twice against banning homeless camps near schools.
I want a city council that has my back when I'm protecting theirs.
The choice is clear. Vote Kim Please for city council president.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. And during the Veterans Day sale at Furniture Row, you'll find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining groups, bedrooms and kids' beds, and mattresses. Plus, decorating your home just got easier with 4 years, no interest. And to salute our armed forces, all veterans and active duty military get a special in-store offer. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. The Veterans Day sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Pain, go away. Now it can go away with Hempvana Rocket Relief, the wireless electric stimulation pain relief pen that goes to work immediately. Simply place it where it hurts, then watch as the relaxing currents boost your endorphins and relieve your pain. You can see it work and you can feel it work, relieving pain from sore and aching muscles, even nagging sports injuries in your knees, back, neck, hurting hands, and more. Fast. Call now and get the Hempvana Rocket 10's Pain Relief Pen for just $19.99. And when you order today, you'll get our flathead and our single point head, both absolutely free. Order now when you can double the offer. Plus, get our Hempvana Pain Relief Cream. Just pay a separate fee and we'll ship it all to you free. This offer is not on Amazon. Order now.
Call 1-800-293-6602. That's 1-800-293-6602. Or visit HempvanaRocket.com. So call 1-800-293-6602 now.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job.
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
Now, we promised you earlier in the show some Washington State coverage. They're in action against Stanford. And trust me, you've been warned, this footage is for sickos only. We're going to go to the second quarter. We got a scoreless game against the Cardinal. Absolutely terrible conditions. As you can see, Cam Ward hits Josh Kelly for a nice first down run. Despite the rain throughout the game, Ward was pretty efficient there, but didn't have many points. But this was the moment of the game. Ward's going to be chased all around by the defense, somehow escapes multiple sacks, just has to heave it down there and finds his man, Josh Kelly, in the red zone. And the Cougs are set up beautifully. Then later in the drive, it's going to be Ward hitting Kelly once again on the little crossing route. And that's a touchdown. The first for Kelly since the Oregon State game. That was back in September, if you can believe that. Oh, that feels like ages ago. Anyway, where we are right now, Stanford's knocking on the door in the fourth quarter. They're near the red zone, so if Washington State doesn't have something in them in the next few minutes, it's going to be 5 straight losses, and you can kiss that bowl game goodbye. Jordan? Yeah, we talked about it. It's a must-win game down at Martin Stadium, Alex. I hope they can pull through. Well, tonight we soar sky high over the McKenzie Conservation Area in Newman Lake. The area includes upland evergreen forests as well as wetlands and 2 streams and springs. Let's head out there today with this week's Air for Adventure.
We're at the McKenzie Reserve by Newman Lake.
It's a big enough tract that you can get into the woods, and it's quiet back in here. And you also get a bunch of little ecosystems. On the south side, sunny side, you got the ponderosa pine, and then in the shady sides, you've got the Doug fir, and you've got some cedar in there. And then down by the lake, you got some cottonwood trees and some open meadows. So it's really a nice piece of property with all different kinds of terrain in there. It's great. In the winter, it's a good trail for cross-country skiing, miles of trail. But the other times of the year, the horses, there's enough room here to have horses in here. And it's just a great variety of walks here.
And you can get down to see the lake, and that's nice.
You can also, we access it from the water and come around from Lake Newman and then come around into it that way. So it's nice.
You get up there on the rock and get a good view of the lake and watch the birds. There's eagles out here nesting.
Yeah, and there's osprey, a bunch of wild ducks, and that if you're out on the lake, it looks kind of like a turtle basking in the sun. Rock that's been sculpted when the lake was higher. There are several old beach lines, so it's got it's kind of been undercut, and it's a large rock, but it's as big as a house.
Being out in nature, just being out.
Yeah, you get to slow down, and there all you hear is the whining of your dog.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
It's time to say yes to your healthcare story. The Washington Health Plan Finder helps you find new health plan options like Cascade Care. These plans cover primary care visits, mental health services, and generic drugs all before meeting a deductible. Start your next chapter off right by enrolling in your 2023 health plan at wahealthplanfinder.org. Don't wait until it's too late. Enroll now.
As a mom, I just don't feel safe taking my kids downtown anymore. And Paul Dillon, he wants to allow homeless encampments near our schools. And he supported policies that prevent police from pursuing domestic violence offenders. Paul is just too extreme for Spokane.
I'm Katie Treelor. I'm a mom, a teacher, and the only independent candidate running for Spokane City Council. I am running to make Spokane safe and clean for everyone, and I'm asking for your vote.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. And during the Veterans Day sale at Furniture Row, you'll find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining groups, bedrooms and kids' beds, and mattresses. Plus, decorating your home just got easier with 4 years, no interest. And to salute our armed forces, all veterans and active duty military get a special in-store offer. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. The Veterans Day sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Hello, my friend Pat Boone here for Safe Step Walk-In Tub. Listen, for years, one of my greatest pleasures has been relaxing in my walk-in tub. And I'm excited to tell you that Safe Step has actually found a way to take your bathing and showering experience to a whole new level with their new hybrid tub. It's the luxury and convenience of a shower and tub all in one package. The dual shower heads include a handheld shower wand and a large, luxurious rainfall shower head. Now you can finally enjoy the best of both worlds with the therapeutic benefits of a warm, soothing bath that can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and improve sleep. Or, if you prefer, you can take a safe, refreshing shower all in one amazing product.
Call today and receive $1,500 off the purchase of your new Safe Step walk-in tub. Call 1-800-903-9006.
All right, and here is your forecast. Things looking a little bit better. May even see the sun pop out for a little bit on Sunday, so it's always nice to see. Plus, some warm temperatures. You got to love that, too, because this time of year, things can start sinking pretty quickly.
Yeah, not a fan of that clock thing we're doing tomorrow either.
No, not at all.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Sorry.
Good luck.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.